Ever been dumped via corporate presentation? Because apparently that's a thing now. So there I was, thinking my biggest problem was deciding between Netflix or Hulu after dinner. Turns out my girlfriend Madison had been preparing slides. Not vacation slides, not let's renovate the bathroom slides, breakup slides. She called it a relationship audit. I called it psychological warfare with animations. For 8 months, Madison had been living in my condo like she'd signed a lease with my soul. She drove my Camry like it was her company car, reorganized my Netflix queue, and somehow convinced me that splitting groceries 70-30 was fair because she brought emotional labor to the table. The emotional labor, by the way, consisted of critiquing my choice in throw pillows and explaining why my friends were limiting my growth potential. But hey, love makes you stupid, and I was valedictorian of stupid. She scheduled the breakup. Actually, scheduled it. Sent me a calendar invite. Us, important discussion, 7 p.m., living room. I thought we were talking about vacation plans. She thought we were talking about my expiration date. Madison walked into my living room carrying a laptop, a water bottle with motivational quotes, and the kind of confidence usually reserved for people about to fire half a department. "Gabriel," she said, settling onto my couch like she was about to deliver quarterly earnings. "I've been doing some reflection." Red flag number 1, she used my full name. Madison only called me Gabriel when I was in trouble or when she was ordering for me at restaurants because my voice was too soft for service workers. She opened her laptop. Slide 1 appeared on the screen. Why Gabriel isn't built for forever, a comprehensive analysis. I'm not kidding. There was a title slide with fonts and a fade-in transition. "I want to be transparent about my decision-making process," she continued, clicking to slide 2. "So I've prepared a presentation." This woman had bullet points for why I wasn't marriage material. Bullet points. Slide 2. Core compatibility issues. Lack of alpha energy in social situations. Insufficient career trajectory for dual-income household goals. Emotional availability exceeds optimal masculine standards. I sat there like a defendant watching my own trial, except the judge was wearing my hoodie and eating my leftover Thai food. Slide 3. Behavioral patterns that indicate long-term incompatibility. She actually had a graph, a pie chart showing how I spent my free time, with personal development taking up about 3% and being content taking up the rest. Apparently, being content was the problem. Slide 4. Market analysis. This is where it got really fun. Madison had researched the current dating economy and determined that my romantic stock value wasn't competitive. Today's high-value women require partners who can provide adventure, mystery, and consistent personal reinvention, she read from her notes. You provide stability, kindness, and homemade breakfast on Sundays. The way she said homemade breakfast made it sound like I'd been force-feeding her poison. Slide 5. Comparative analysis. She had a chart, an actual comparison chart between me and her ideal partner archetype. Me, reliable, emotionally intelligent, financially stable. Ideal. Spontaneous, challenging, entrepreneurial mindset. She'd literally turned our relationship into a performance review, and I was getting fired. Halfway through slide 6, recommended action items for Gabriel's future growth, her Apple Watch buzzed. The text preview lit up. "Trey, still on for tonight?" She glanced at it, smiled slightly, and kept reading. As I was saying, Gabriel, you're a wonderful person, but wonderful isn't enough anymore. Today's relationships require constant evolution, and frankly, you've plateaued. I watched this woman, who'd been sleeping in my bed, eating my food, and using my car, explain why I wasn't worth her time while coordinating plans with someone named Trey. Here's the thing about being publicly humiliated by someone you love. You have 2 choices. You can fight back, or you can lean into the performance. I chose option 3, complete psychological surrender. "You're absolutely right," I said. Madison paused mid-slide, confused. This wasn't in her script. "I mean, look at this objectively," I continued. "I make you dinner, I listen when you talk, I remember that you hate horror movies and love documentaries about serial killers. That's not husband behavior. That's, what would you call it? Utility behavior?" She nodded slowly, unsure where I was going. "I've been treating you like a girlfriend when I should have been treating you like a personal development coach. This presentation is exactly what I needed." I stood up, walked to the kitchen, and grabbed a pen and paper. "Can you email me those slides? I want to work on every single point. I should probably start going to those networking events, right? And maybe I should stop being so available." Madison's face shifted from confidence to confusion to something that looked almost like disappointment. "Oh," she said. Yes, that would be good for your growth." "Absolutely. In fact, this is probably the best breakup I've ever had. So, educational." I handed her the pen and paper. "Can you write down Trey's number? I want to ask him for tips on that entrepreneurial mindset thing." The color drained from her face. "What?" "Your Apple Watch. Trey texted during slide 6. I figure if he's worth interrupting our breakup presentation for, he must have some insights I could use." She stared at me like I'd just solved a puzzle she didn't know I was working on. "Gabriel, No, this is perfect. You're right. I need to level up. And clearly, you've already found someone who's operating at the level I should be. It's actually genius when you think about it." I walked her to the door, her laptop still open on slide 7. "Thanks for this, Madison. Really, this is exactly the wake-up call I needed." She left looking more confused than victorious. I closed the door, walked back to the couch, and stared at her abandoned presentation for about 30 seconds. Then I laughed until I cried. Madison moved out the next week. She took her motivational water bottle, her vision board, and my Netflix password. She did not take the Apple TV, the coffee maker, or the car keys. Apparently, some utilities were harder to replace than others. I blocked her on everything, deleted our photos, and did something I hadn't done in months. I went to bed without wondering if I was good enough for someone who'd just spent 2 hours explaining why I wasn't. 2 weeks later, I decided to actually take her advice. Not because I agreed with her analysis, but because sitting around thinking about PowerPoint breakups was making me weird. I joined a gym, not the trendy one downtown where Madison posted her healing journey workout selfies. A different one, across town. Or so I thought. 3 days into my new routine, I'm on the treadmill, finally starting to feel like a person again, when I see a familiar figure by the free weights. Madison, at my gym, taking a mirror selfie with the caption, "Day 12 of choosing myself. Growth looks good on me." She tagged the location. I checked the timestamp. She'd posted it at 6:47 a.m. My workout started at 6:30. I walked to the front desk. "Excuse me, when did that woman sign up?" I asked, pointing discreetly. The desk guy checked his computer. "Oh, Madison? 2 weeks ago. Right after we opened that morning. She seemed really excited about the membership. Said her ex-boyfriend had inspired her fitness journey. 2 weeks ago, the day after our breakup. She'd followed me to my gym, posted about not looking back, and tagged herself at the location where I was trying to move forward. I didn't say anything to her. I just switched my workout times. But the next week, she switched hers too. 3 months of Madison-free gym sessions later, I met someone. Not at the gym, thankfully. At a bookstore. She was buying a cookbook, I was buying a mystery novel, and she made a joke about how we were both investing in better endings. Her name was Zara, and she had this way of listening that made you feel like your stories mattered, not like they were data points in someone's personal development presentation. When I told her about the PowerPoint breakup, she didn't try to fix me or analyze what it meant about my attachment style. She just asked, "What color was the background? Please tell me it wasn't Comic Sans." It was Arial font on a white background with blue accents. "Ah," she said. "Corporate breakup. Very professional. Did she have a follow-up survey?" We've been laughing together ever since. 6 months later, I proposed to Zara. Not because I was trying to prove anything to Madison, or because I needed to validate my husband material status. I proposed because Zara made me feel like the person I was when no one was grading my performance. She said yes immediately, then asked if I was planning to present her with a ring analysis PowerPoint. I told her I'd left corporate presentations in my previous relationship. She said good, because she preferred handwritten love letters anyway. 2 days after I posted our engagement photos, something interesting happened. A new Instagram account started following me, Healing Glow Jen. The profile picture was a sunset. The bio read, "Living authentically, choosing growth, not looking back." There was one post, a photo of feet in yoga pants with the caption, "Some people move fast, some people move forward. Know the difference." Madison had created a Finsta to stalk my happiness. The username wasn't even creative. Her middle name is Jennifer. Here's where I could have taken the high road. Could have just blocked Healing Glow Jen and moved on with my life. But sometimes the high road is closed for construction, and you have to take the scenic route through Pettytown. I sent her a wedding invitation. Not to her apartment. I didn't know her address anymore. I sent it to her workplace. The envelope was addressed to Madison Jennifer Tate, Strategic Life Optimization Consultant. Her LinkedIn title, yes, I checked. Inside, crisp white cardstock with gold lettering. Gabriel Robertson and Zara Rivera request the pleasure of your company at their wedding ceremony. P.S. Thank you for teaching me what I didn't want. I didn't expect her to RSVP. I definitely didn't expect her to show up. She showed up. In white. Not accidentally wore cream white. Not this dress just happens to be ivory white. Wedding dress white. Full bride cosplay. She sat in the back row, directly in my line of sight during the ceremony, smiling, taking notes in a small notebook. Taking notes. When Zara walked down the aisle, Madison stood up and clapped, loudly, like she was at a performance she'd personally choreographed. During our vows, she pulled out her phone and started typing. I watched her post an Instagram story mid-ceremony. Some people move on fast. Some people just settle. Either way, grateful for the closure. She tagged me. On her main account this time. The audacity was almost impressive. But here's the thing about karma. It has excellent comedic timing. Right as I kissed my wife, Madison's phone buzzed, loudly. The notification sound echoed through the quiet moment, and everyone turned to look. Her face went from smug satisfaction to pure panic in about 0.3 seconds. She grabbed her phone, read something, and her expression crumbled. Later, through mutual friends, yes, we still had those, I found out what happened. Trey had dumped her, via text, during my wedding ceremony. His message, according to sources, "This isn't working. You're too intense. Also, why are you at your ex's wedding? That's weird. Don't contact me." She'd been dumped by the man she'd left me for, while watching me marry someone else, in a white dress she'd worn to make a point. 3 days later, she sent me a message. Not through Instagram, through LinkedIn. "Hi, Gabriel. Hope you're well. I was thinking we should catch up soon. I've been doing a lot of personal development work and have some insights that might interest you. Let me know when you're free. Best, Madison." She'd sent a networking request to her ex-boyfriend. I replied with a photo. Me and Zara on our honeymoon, sitting on a beach. Zara's reading a book. I'm reading over her shoulder. We both look genuinely, stupidly happy. Caption: "Thanks for the offer, but I'm all booked up. Living my best settled life. Gabriel." P.S. Zara says hi and thanks for the free lesson in what red flags look like. I waited exactly 1 hour, then blocked her on LinkedIn too. We moved 3 months later. Different city, different state, different time zone. No forwarding address, no social media location tags, no breadcrumbs. We didn't announce it, didn't make a big deal about it. We just left. Because healing isn't a performance. It's not a series of posts or presentations or public demonstrations of growth. It's quiet, it's private. It's the sound of 2 people building something real without an audience. I don't hate Madison. I actually feel sorry for her. She spent so much time optimizing her life for external validation that she forgot to ask herself what she actually wanted. She turned love into a business plan, relationships into performance reviews, and connection into competitive analysis. She's not evil. She's just exhausted, tired from constantly trying to upgrade her life instead of actually living it. I was never the problem in our relationship. I was just too stable for someone addicted to chaos, too consistent for someone who needed drama to feel alive, too real for someone who preferred the performance of love to love itself. These days, I sleep like a man who finally washed someone else's projections off his sheets. I wake up next to someone who thinks my emotional availability is a feature, not a bug. I make breakfast on Sundays, and nobody analyzes it for signs of codependency. I ask Zara how her day was, and she tells me, not because she has to, but because she wants to. We watch Netflix without anyone suggesting we should be networking instead. We're happy, not optimized, not performing, not growing for the sake of growth. Just happy.